Brews and Reviews. This is Homa from PA Lagers, Brews and Reviews, and we're outside of Whole Foods, and we're going to pick up some fresh Sly Fox Pikewood Pilsner because this is the freshest place to get it, and it's also cold, so that's a good thing. So here I am walking into Whole Foods. There's the beer section to my right, and I'm going to check out the coolers and let's see what they have. I see some Delco. They have a nice Levante section. There's their Pilsner. And here's the Sly Fox section, and I see the Pikeland Pils on the shelf, and I'm going to pick some up. I had a video on beer quality where I talked about Sly Fox and I talked about the brewery, and now I'm going to do a review of the Pikeland Pils and also the Oktoberfest. I'll start with the Pikeland Pils. Why? Because it's a great Pils to start with, and it's a nice palate cleanser. I always like to start with a Pils and then move up to something like a lager or possibly an Oktoberfest, maybe a black lager, Schwarzbier, something like that. But a Pils is always a great beer to start with. It's a palate cleanser. It brings out the flavors in beers that come after it. So I'm going to pop this open. It's a fresh one. As I mentioned in the previous video, 1024. And it was cold at Whole Foods, so that means it came cold from the brewery, I assume. So I'm going to pour this on an angle here and then tilt it straight up to get more foam, and hopefully not too much. And I might have got a little too much foam there, so I'll let it settle off just a little bit, and while it's doing that, I'll check out its aroma. Very nice yeasty aroma, bready. Just makes you want to try it out. And again, this is a really nice Pils. I've had this before, and it's a Northern German Pils. The ABV is 4.9%. I'll put this here so you can see it. It's 4.9%, so it's a nice lighter Pils to start with. And I'll take a sip of it. And it has a slight sweetness to it, a little bit of spiciness that kind of hits your palate afterwards. My first taste is a little bit sweet, a little malty, a little sweet, not a lot, and then a little spiciness on the palate, and then kind of bready. So I guess I would say it's bready at the start, a little sweet bready at the start, and then you get a little bit of a spice, like a German Pils, like a Kaiser Pils from Penn Brewery that I reviewed earlier. But this has a nice kind of bready, smooth feel to it. And then a little bit of a spicy hop bite to it that kind of sits on the palate, and it finishes off a little bit dry, not completely dry, but nice and clean, very drinkable. Nice summer Pils. It's a good price point. It's, I think, $9.99 for a 6-pack when you could find it. So I really like Pikeland Pils, so this is a good starter beer to have. So what I'm going to do after I have some of this is we're going to take a look at the Oktoberfest. Now, I don't have another Sly Fox glass. I'm going to use a workhorse glass, and I'm going to open up the Sly Fox Oktoberfest, which is actually 6.1 ABV, so it's a little stronger, so be careful with these, but luckily it's in a 12-ounce can, so you're not getting as much in one shot. So we'll pop this open and pour a nice angled pour here, and I'll kind of watch it a little closer this time to see how the foam's doing. So I'll pour it a little more aggressively, so it gets some more foam on it. This one not as foamy as the other, and about a 1/4 inch, so that's pretty good. You can see it has more of a coppery color to it, which normal Oktoberfests have, and this is called a Wunderbar Fest beer, and it's kind of in between an Oktoberfest and a Marzen. So it's not quite a Fest beer, and it's not quite a real heavy Marzen. It's kind of in between. Let's check out the aroma. Nice sweet aroma, a little bit of caramel, malty aroma coming from it. Definitely getting some maltiness, a little caramel, almost a little cinnamon kind of almost taste to it that I'm getting just from the first taste on my palate. Very smooth. Not too caramely, not too sweet, kind of in between. I find this kind of not too sweet, not too strong, and not too light either. At 6.1, it's not light at all. So this is kind of a nice in-between Oktoberfest. I really like this. It's When you don't want something syrupy and heavier and thicker, and if you don't want something that's just too lighter, like almost like a Helles, this is a nice in-between kind of Oktoberfest. It has a nice kind of fuller body flavor to it without being too syrupy, too malty, and too heavy. It's a really nice one. You know, it's definitely lighter than maybe the Sam Adams Oktoberfest or the Victory Fest beer. This is a little bit on the lighter side tasting in terms of the flavor compared to that, but in terms of alcohol, it's probably about the same, if not more. So it's really a nice balanced Oktoberfest. I really like this. I like that it comes in 12-ounce cans. And I think I gave this like a 4.0 on Untapped last year when I had it. And I always like getting a 6-pack of it. This one I got at Wegmans, I believe. It was in like a box. The 6-pack was in a packaged box already, and I got it as soon as it came out, so I knew it was pretty fresh since the Sly Fox was one of the first Oktoberfest release. But this is a really nice Oktoberfest to check out. But I really like Sly Fox Brewing. I like their lagers. I like their black lager. I like their Helles. I'll review that at some point, but they have a really nice Helles too that's nice and bready, and it has a nice kind of honey finish on it. Again, get it fresh. And get this fresh, and they're out right now. But be careful, because sometimes they'll have ones from last year. I've seen some places where they have leftover ones from last season. Check the dates if you can. This has a date on it, so make sure it says 22 if you're drinking it in 22. Doesn't mean that you can't have a beer from 21. I have other beers that I'll review. I have one that's like a year and a half old from Levante that tastes fantastic. They're 99 meter lager. It's a year and a half old, still tastes fantastic. But it was refrigerated. I got it in a cooler, so that helps a little bit too for older beers. Some beers stay longer. I find that Sly Fox, you want to get them fresh. They just taste better fresh. So really like Sly Fox, their Oktoberfest. Again, I'd give that a 4. Their Pikeland Pills, I'd give that a 4.25. Really nice brewery. They have great beers. They have a great tasting room with fantastic food if you get a chance to go there and check it out. They're really friendly. It's a really laid-back atmosphere. You could take your dogs there. You could sit outside. It's a really great place. I'll post some video and some pictures on the video while I'm doing this. So again, that's Sly Fox from Pottstown, and that's the Pikeland Pills, which I had initially, and then the Sly Fox Oktoberfest, which is a great one to check out this season. And check out over 200 reviews at my Untapped profile at RM Homa. That's a nice Pils.